This is Vi from Scrappy Mania, and today I want to show you how to create these lovely flowers with just some simple stamps, a little bit of watercolor pencils, or you can use color pencils, any kind of paint that you want to use to color your flowers, you can use that. And those flowers get nested, so you stamp this and then you nest them one on top of the other like that to create this three-dimensional effect. And as you can see, it really looks very nice. I really like that effect. And then you can put some glitter glue or whatnot to kind of spruce up the flowers. And in this one, I use Heartfelt Creations leaf dies, and I also use the Anna Griffin die cut that I purchased some time ago, and some other lace die cuts that I've gotten. This also has a Sizzix frame, an old Sizzix frame, and just regular plain paper that I use, and this is from the Lost and Found collection. So I really wanted to show you how you can take some simple flower stamps and really give dimension to your project. Plus, it doesn't make it very bulky, because sometimes we want to give that flower dimension, that three-dimension, and we create these flowers and they're a little bulky, as you can see. And for scrapbooks, even though they're gorgeous, you really look very nice, sometimes they're a little too much for your scrapbook, but these will give you the dimension, and look how flat it is. And for scrapbook, they're just perfect for that. So let me show you how to do that. So I am going to use, this is the Martha Stewart flower punch. I'm not sure what the name of it. And one thing is, as I organize my stamps, I usually take them out of the containers and I put them either in a storage CD like this, a CD case, or I just put them in something like that, you know, and then I put it in, these are CD sleeves. So what I do is I have a 3-ring binder which have these CD sleeves, and I put them there. But unfortunately, when I do that, I don't have the name of my stamps, so I don't know the name of this stamp. I just know that I purchased these at Joann some time ago. Let me see if it has a name there. No, don't know the name of the stamp, but any kind of flower stamp will work with this technique. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some plain cardstock, and you also want to use something that's nice and cushiony. You also want to use some archival ink, especially if you're going to be using some distressing inks or watercolors or whatever. So the thing you got to keep in mind, depending how long or how spread apart you make these flowers, that's how much dimension it will have. So if you place this flower, you stamp it real close, you'll have less dimension. But if you do stamp it farther away, then when you create your tabs, look how much dimension that will give your flower. Okay. So let's go ahead and create these. So I'm going to use my Martha Stewart first. And I like to do is, if you notice, most of my pages have the larger flowers is in the center. So I kind of find the center, and I use that to stamp my larger flower. Okay, like that. And then I am going to use, let's see, then I usually put like a smaller flower. And I want to spread this apart. Maybe here. And then maybe I want to put a butterfly. Or let me put another one here, maybe up here. Kind of spread apart. You can see that. And then I may want to put maybe, let's see, that's a little too big, so maybe I want to put a butterfly here, or maybe I want to put it this way. Okay, so I might be able to kind of bring that up a little bit. And then for this area here, I may want to put a smaller butterfly Actually, I'll try to put the bird. Let's try to put the bird at an angle and see how that comes out. Okay. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to show you how to create it with these stamps. I'm going to take these stamps. And these are going to have a little different look. I like the open stamps. So I'm going to, again, put in the center. Okay. And I may want to put that there. Maybe I would like to put, let's see, a smaller flower here. And it's better if you use flowers that are open, because then you can kind of color them. These going to have some black accents. Actually, maybe I should use a butterfly. So let me get the butterfly out. And maybe I want a butterfly that will kind of go into the flower a little bit. How about that? Okay. So now that we have everything stamped out, we're going to go ahead and color these. And you're going to love making these. I've done these in the past. I do have a video way back that I showed you how to create this. And I forgot all about making these. Sometimes we try all kind of new techniques that we forget our old techniques. And when I made my album, I wanted to create it, have some dimensional flowers in there, but I also wanted to not make it too bulky. So I decided to use, again, this technique. And I was inspired to do this from some old flowers way back, and I think the company that used to make these flowers, they were called Foldies. And they were flowers that it came in a die cut sheet, and you punch them out, and then you will just fold them, and it will create a three-dimensional flower. So when I saw their product, I decided that, you know, I can do kind of the same thing. They're not as pretty as theirs, because theirs were, you know, some of them had glitter and they were pretty nice. But I thought I can create them using the supplies that I have. Plus, I didn't, you know, I usually don't like buying a lot of things that I can create myself, and that was one thing when I saw that product, I figured that I can create it myself. I usually like to buy products. If you notice most of my videos, the products that I tend to buy are, you know, they're not stickers. I have a whole bin of stickers that I have not used, and they're not really, I mean, I do have paper, but not as much. I tend to buy more die cuts or paints than anything else, because I like to get things that I can get more than one use out of it. You know, and I like to buy like alphabet stamps or alphabet dies, because when you buy stickers, you only could use it once, and then you run out of letters, and I don't like having to run out of letters and not be able to spell a whole word. And when you buy flowers, sometimes you run out of your flowers and you just need that one little flower, or the flowers don't really go with the colors, your color of your album. And, you know, and I don't tend to buy things in kits. Now, I thought about doing those scrapbooking clubs that they send you the papers and the die cuts and all that stuff within the club. And I've thought about doing that at one point, but I never feel like I will use all the papers or the stickers, and I don't want to have to kind of not have that A or B just because it didn't come. You know, my letter has a different spelling, or my name, or the name that I'm trying to spell is longer than the alphabets, you know, longer than what I have to be able to spell it out. So that's why I haven't bought kits. And I don't tend to take a lot of pictures. I know I love to scrapbook, I love to craft, but I don't take a lot of pictures. My daughter takes more pictures than I do. I'm into more mixed media, journaling lately, and creating gifts for other people. I really like creating albums for my sister or for friends and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm kind of coloring this real quickly, but you'll take your time to do a better job than I am. And if it's color pencil, you really have to make sure you color it correctly than what I'm doing, because color pencils do not forgive. If you put a streak down, you cannot take water and blend it. Now, you could take some mineral oils and blend it, or some gem salt, but you still will see the streaks. So that's why you have to be a little more careful with color pencils. Okay, so I got my brush, and then I'm just going to liquefy the color pencils. There. Now that I have that, so the next thing I like to do, I usually like to know, kind of plan out where I'm going to have my gaps, or where I'm going to have the intersection. So maybe there, you know, I would like to have like a little intersection there. Right here would be a nice place to put it. Let's see. This one might be, maybe we can try something like that. And this one, maybe I'll put it from here. Okay. This one, definitely you want to do it here. And then these are a little more, you don't want to, one of the tricks is you don't want to make that bridge in between an open area, because you're going to see when you bend it. See what I mean? When you bend it, if it's in an open area, you'll see some of the white show. So you want to kind of make sure you hide the white. And same, see, notice that I did not make the bridge in between the body here. I put it on a wing, a solid area, because then when I go over it, you don't see where that bridge is. Okay. And see right there? And then here, the butterfly is going to be a little tricky, so I should have stamped it off a little bit, and I didn't. So we're just going to do a little bit there. Okay? Now I'm going to get my scissors, and you want some nice precision scissors if you have it. And just going to cut these out. Okay, and notice here it was kind of close to like the V area, so I want to make sure I come down this way because I don't want to leave any white coming up here, because then you'll see it when you fold it up. See, when you fold it, I want to be able to fold it and not see it. See how I fold it and you don't really see the white cardstock? That's what you want. That's your goal. You really don't want to have those bridges or links or whatever you want to call it show when you fold up your flowers. Okay, so now we have our two pieces. Now you can have a little twist to this, because if you get your embossing tool, and then you can give some dimension to your butterflies. To give your butterfly some dimension, and then push it in the center, and look how gorgeous that's going to look. And I'm going to do the same thing with my bird. Give it a little dimension. Mainly is the belly of the bird. Okay. Going to do the same thing with this butterfly. Give it a little dimension. Okay, now these flowers, I can see how I can really give it a little bit of pop. Okay, and do the same thing here. I'm just doing it real quickly just to show you. And a little bit of dimension here. And then turn it over, and I will just kind of go in the center. Now that you have that, then the next thing you're going to do is pull your adhesive, your foam adhesive, and your regular adhesive. And then you got to decide which flower you want it to recede, and which flower, so which one you want as a background and which one you want on top, like here. So for this one, maybe I want this flower to receive, and then see how I kind of like bend it a little bit. And actually, maybe we'll need to bring this. And see, sometimes you have to have it one way, because otherwise you see, if I try to do it in the back, see how you can see the tab, but if I do it in the forward, so it's something you got to use a little bit of planning, but not too much. So since this one's going to be on top, I'm going to go ahead and see how I kind of bend the tab in, and I'm going to put this here, and then this one here. This one I'm going to also, so my middle flower in this arrangement is going to recede to the background, and there. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. So I know these going to need pop dot, that's going to need pop dots. So I'm going to put a pop dot here. And put a pop dot here. This one's probably going to need 2 pop dots. Or foam adhesive. So I put 2 together for my butterfly to give it a little more dimension. And then this one is probably going to need 2 also. Okay. And then this one's going to need, the center one is just going to need a little bit of adhesive. And I don't like my adhesive to show. cut it a little smaller. Now I'm going to pull, so let's pretend this is a tag. So I'm going to pull my tag, and then I'm going to kind of arrange the flowers. That one's going to go there first. Oops. I need to take out some of the adhesive. And then I'm going to arrange this one next. Oops, this came off. And then the butterfly, we can put the butterfly right there. And then this one, of course, we're going to put it right there. See how that gives it dimension? Then you can put this little card with some, then tuck some other little, I have here, we can tuck some flowers around this, very simply like that. Tuck some more leaves around here, you know, maybe some other ones around here. Just put tucks little stuff around there, and you know, put a nice little phrase or saying, stickers and stuff, and there you have. You can use this little card on anything. So that's how you do that. And let me show you the other one. Let's show you how the Martha Stewart one. Now my favorite is the Martha Stewart. That's why I always like to create these with my Martha Stewart stamp. And this one was using the Stampin' Up! Markers. I use Stampin' Up! Markers, and I use watercolor pencils in that one. And then on some of these, I have used my my color pencils. So you can see the different effects. And then here, I'm going to do the same. So if I'm going to go ahead and fold this one, fold them up like that, and then bring it across. And see, with the Martha Stewart ones, it doesn't matter where you put the little tabs. It always comes out nice. The other ones, the other flowers, you got to strategize where you're going to put them, but they still come out pretty nice too. I mean, I do love these flowers. I really do. Maybe for this one, I'm going to put it on here, on this frame. And then here, again, you're going to fold it down. Okay, so you're going to hide it and then bring it over. See how that kind of works? You don't want to look, you don't want to see the tabs. Again, you're going to fold that tab down because you don't want to see it when you fold, and then you fold it over. And the flower would naturally migrate where it needs to go. Now I know this one's going to have just a regular adhesive. Okay. This one's going to have one foam. And I should use, I'm going to use, instead of my precision scissors, I'm going to use these. These are meant for, they have a coating and they're non-stick. So these are the ones you should be using for stickers. And for anything that is glue, is gummy or has adhesive, because you don't want it to mess up your other scissors. Otherwise, you got to wash these out. Then I go ahead and cut one strip and I fold it over to make a little more dimension. And that's going to go in my butterfly right there. Going to do the same thing. I'm going to put two foam adhesive. I just fold it over. Find that that's a lot easier to do that. And then put it there. Where the belly was. Where I made the... So now, see how pretty that is. So let's go ahead and find some other little tag that I want to put it on. This is from my leftover project. I got tons of this stuff. Okay, so let's put it on that one, or maybe we can put it... Now, when the frames are a little more difficult, you really need to have the pictures underneath your frame, so that way you can adhere it down because there's not really anything to adhere to. And I was able to do it on this one because this frame is a lot thicker, but I ran out of those frames, so I don't want to make some new frames. So I'm just going to put it on this tag. And I like to start with the middle first. I always place my middle flower wherever I want it. Like if I want it on an angle, I put it on the angle. Then I bring in my other flowers to the center. And these will look very nice, I mean really in a layout with a frame, behind a frame. Definitely is an eye catcher. So there you have that. See how that nice little cluster, again you put some more leaves underneath like I did here. You put some leaves, put a little more accents. And usually what you do is you want to kind of build up the underlayer, like the accents, and then you place your flowers on top, and that really gives it a nice look. So I hope you like this tutorial, how you can create these wonderful little groupings of flowers that looks three-dimensional, but they're flat. Look how flat that is. You know, you really giving it dimension. You see the shadow on there, but it will look perfect, and you can even use it in those pocket scrapbooking, because it'll fit in that pocket and it's, you know, it will lay flat. So I hope you like this video and thank you for watching. Bye now.